I mean, what is a model, right? A model is you take something very rough, by never nothing, and turn it into something less rough.
Yeah.
Isn't that the funny thing? So a model is something which cannot start without anything, but also doesn't know when it has something
To stop at.
Stop at.
Yeah.
But this is at the edge where the human comes in. While the human can start from nothing, but usually stops in the middle because it gets tired.
Yeah.
Whilst it can judge when it has something, but usually doesn't get there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a painter that paints a painting, and then in the sense the AI is like a painter that you make it start make a painting, but it just like keeps painting over and over and over over the same canvas. If you don't tell it like, yo, it's enough, the painting is complete.
He could have only painted Mona Lisa and Rembrandt 7 times without knowing it.
Yeah, and then overpainted it and destroyed it in a way, and then changed it, which happens kind of in the code sometimes. Even when you work with these LLMs, they get to a stage where it's like almost hitting this like zenith, this peak, and then it starts going downhill at some point. So it's kind of interesting to see why did we continue working on this code base when it did reach a point where it actually a lot of things were more optimal, which actually was maybe aligned with the original design doc, but then maybe the empirical testing part was missing in those things. Because think about it like as an artist, as a painter, like what are you doing? You're like constantly, usually depending on the artist, but you're constantly like painting on the canvas, and then you're like, after like, sometimes even after a few strokes, you step backwards.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the whole thing, almost kind of like updating your own context window of this painting and seeing, does this align with my intuition, my vision, and then also kind of like, metaphorically speaking, with the design doc of this vision, what I wanted to create. And then you're like, no, the left part actually is missing something. And you come closer, you add a few strokes to the left part, and then you're kind of like constantly evaluating it. And then you're kind of trying to get in this like huge kind of latent space of your own mind closer to that direction that you want to get to. But a model has a direction, but almost doesn't have like a point. It can just keep going and going and going, as long as you don't stop it and you just keep pushing it. So I think that's kind of like an interesting contrast there to notice. But then also, how can we actually address this within our own agents, so we can actually give them almost that like almost like artistic mode where they can be like a painter and actually.
But do we want that? Like I don't even think we need to want that.
But if your role as a human is to be just like the jury, like the judging jury, like, okay, agent, I'm not going to be in the process with you. I'm going to give you the specs. I'm going to give you the design doc, and I'm going to let you go and just give me back the result.
Yeah.
Then you actually do want it to have all of these different steps where it can actually give you the best result. And then obviously you can judge and say, okay, it's a 8, oh, it's a 10, oh, this is a 3. But then, if this types of approaches can help your AI agent give you better results, that's in your interest. Kind of like it's basically running this loop of design doc, empirical testing, but then almost like eliminating the human from this loop here of analyzing the information, but then just having it do this, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, but obviously there's also like an outer loop, which is you have the PSM, the persona that is producing the empirical testing, plus 2 others who are reviewing, but that one is obviously the what I guess you call the artist, that is producing that or like that space in between empirical testing and thing, right? And whenever you start seeing patterns after having done that inner loop 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you see ways where the PSM is consistently going down the wrong rabbit hole, right? This is the key premise of the system I've built so far, is that AI output is never going to be the same for the same inputs, whilst AI behavior is always the same. Given the same inputs, you get the same behavior every single time.
Because it has the underlying beliefs that are persistent.
Even without the PSM, but just AI in general. Like if you say hello to it, it's going to say a greeting to you 99% of the times. Because that's a beautiful thing. Humans, they finish when they don't want anymore. Models finish when the human stops asking. So if we would remove the human, then the model would never stop, and the model would at some point come out to the right result.
But also the model will never start.